Hello YouTube! Once again, this is Tig Biddy here, back again with another Keyforge Deck review slash analysis. This time we're going to be going over Guncook, Crown Muscedent Brigand. Crown Muscedent. Guncook Crown Muscedent Brigand. I really want to know what the heck that name means, because it is a mouthful and some random words. But this one's going to be Dis, Shadows, and Mars. I'm really happy to see a deck with Dis and Shadows in it. I did have another video where I talked about those two factions being key to victory in competitive play, and I'm pretty sure that still stands today. Without further ado, let's go ahead and flip this baby over and check out the deck list. So, of course, we will be starting off with an upgrade if we do have it, and this one is Silent Dagger. I have not seen this in another deck before. You get an Aember for playing it, and this creature gains Reap. Deal 4 to a flank creature. Now, I was always wondering, like, can you just target any creature with any fight in this game, or can you only target the ones on the flanks? And then I figured out that there's actually taunt in this game, and I wasn't really sure what the flanks had to do with anything. Why is being on a flank worse? Well, it's really just for cards like this. This is why you don't want to be on a flank, and now you know. Don't be on a flank if you know Silent Dagger's on the table. Then we got an old Bruno. This guy is elusive, and you play Capture 3. That combo is really tough. Means you just can't simply run one minion into it to get your Aember back. You got to run at least 2 into it, or have something like a punch, you know, something that deals 3 damage in a spell to kill this guy. I really like old Bruno. He's better than Charette, who also captures 3, but has 4 power, but is not elusive. I like this guy a lot better. Next up, we got Nexus. Another elusive creature, kind of the theme of Shadows, to be honest, being all elusive. And this guy's a cyborg thief, pretty cool. He's got his Reap ability where he can use an opponent's artifact as if it were yours. Now, I really like that ability because not only does it use it, but I'm pretty sure you also tap the guy's artifact, or the girl's artifact, your opponent. When you tap their artifact, it means essentially they can't use it on their next turn. They're going to have to wait another whole turn for it to, you know, become unexhausted, essentially. So Nexus is really good. It's kind of like a permanent kind of effect. You can do this every turn, and we have 2 of them, which is fantastic for that control of artifacts. Next up, we have our first rare of the deck, I guess, the deck list. It's Bullet Eye. Just 2 power, but elusive, makes it good. And Reap, destroy a flank creature. So if you were wondering why flank creatures are generally more vulnerable to getting destroyed, this is another proof of that. You don't want to be on the flank when a Bullet Eye comes into play, because he's pointing that finger. She's pointing that finger right at you. Yeah, she's definitely a she. You can tell. She got them Tig Biddies. Next, we have a Bad Penny. Bad Penny is not a bad card, although some would argue she is a really bad card. But you know what? I like it. She's something that the opponent has to deal with. Otherwise, I can just combo every turn with this. Because look at that. Combo right there. Seeker, Needle. Artifact, action, destroy, or, you know, destroy a creature with 1, essentially. And you can gain an Aember for doing that. So that's really nice with Bad Penny. Poison Wave. Another decent synergy with Bad Penny. You know, if Bad Penny's on the field, she essentially just doesn't die. She can get a Reap off, then you can use Poison Wave to do a little mini clear, and then you can play the Bad Penny again. This isn't too great in this deck. We do have a decent amount of creatures that are 2 power already that I've shown you, and that are elusive and stuff. You don't really want to kill them. It doesn't kill our Bruno, though, or old Bruno, so that's kind of nice. Poison Wave, solid Aember generation, but you cannot avoid the playability. You have to do it, right? It's not one of those do as much as you can. You kind of have to do that. Pawn Sacrifice, decent card, especially it becomes a really good card, honestly, if you have a Bad Penny on the field, because guess what? Bad Penny removes the sacrifice a friendly creature cost. Essentially, it just says, you know, replay Bad Penny, woo! And if you do, deal 3 damage each to 2 creatures. So it's really good direct damage, and it gives you an Aember. Super card. It's kind of like twice as good as a punch if you can avoid the sacrifice a friendly creature, right? So that's pretty cool. Next up, we have an oubliette. Purge a creature of power 3 or lower. So I recently figured out, or not figured out, but I kind of figured it out, I guess, that some purge effects destroy the creature, and some purge effects don't destroy the creature. Instead, they just purge it. So this is really good if they have like something like a Dust Imp, right? You can just purge it, and it's not technically destroyed. Therefore, it doesn't give him the Aember, and it's purged, right? So this does not destroy. If it was destroyed, purge it. There's some cards that say that. This is not that one. Next, we got Nerve Blast. So Nerve Blast is pretty good. It doesn't generate an Aember, but it kind of does because it steals one, right? And if you do, I don't know why you would not steal the Aember, then you can do 2 damage to a creature. So it's super, super good. It's kind of like a better punch and a worse punch all at the same time. But I would say it's just better overall. I'd rather have that. And of course, we see Bait and Switch, the #1 card of Shadows, potentially. Maybe not potentially, it just is. It's just insane. So glad we have that in Shadows. Solid start for Shadows. It's got a few good cards in it, like, we'll go over the Shadows deck list really quick. It's got that Silent Dagger. It's got the Bullet Eye for, good killing. And then it's got the Double Nexus. And it's got Bad Penny with Seeker Needle and Pawn Sacrifice, as well as Oubliette, Nerve Blast, and Bait and Switch. Super, super, super nice. Really happy to see that Shadow faction. The only thing it's kind of missing is, I guess, a Miasma and a Too Much to Protect. Other than that, it's got a lot of good cards, and of course it doesn't have like some of the staple cards like Urchin, but that's okay. Next, we got 2 Yxilix Dominators. This guy is insane. 9 power, 10 armor, or not 10 armor, but 9 attack, 10 defense essentially, because he's got that armor. He has taunt as well, and there's 2 of them with taunt. Who cares that it enters play stunned? Because he's literally just the biggest taunt creature that you could ask for. He's just so big. Tunk. If we have a lot of Mars creatures, this guy is so nice. 6 power, 1 armor, so versatile, and he fully heals himself, so he's really good at fighting. So we have Tunk, and we're going to try and protect Tunk with our 2 Yxilix Dominators with the taunts. Yxilo Bolter. This guy is also really good. He's got that 2 damage to a creature. If it destroys that creature, purge it. This is the exact card that I was talking to you about, where the Shadows card, Oubliette, doesn't actually follow the same rules. It doesn't actually destroy the creature, then purge it. This one does. So it's a little bit worse, I guess, because it destroys, then purge, but still really good. It's just not as good for, for some of the cards with Death Rattle. Mind Warper. This guy is basically Action Steal, but worse. And he's elusive for 2. So I think there is a better card out there that has Action Steal 1. This one's not even a steal. It's like half a steal, right? You choose an enemy creature, it captures 1 from its own side. So it's kind of like a half steal, because you're taking it from your opponent, but you're not getting it yet until you kill that minion. So it's like a harder steal, right? But he is elusive, and he's a Martian scientist, and he's pretty cool. He's pretty cool. Oh, and Blipip. So I really like Blipip because he has Reap. The next Mars creature you play this turn enters ready. And I like the flavor text as well. It's just soon. I like it. So this is going to combo really well with something like this. Boom, play it there, and then boom, instantly stop his key because you can capture 1. So Blipip has so many good uses, and I wish I had more of those. I think that's my first and only Blipip I ever have in all my decks so far. Now we're on to the artifacts, so decent amount of creatures there, but this is what I'm really talking about here. Mother Gun. I really like Mother Gun. And we have 2 Mother Guns. Absolutely crazy sauce. Reveal any number of Mars cards, not even creatures, just cards, and you just deal damage to a creature equal to the number of Mars cards revealed, and then you can play all those Mars cards right after that. So at the start of your turn, you're going to want to use Mother Gun, essentially. So you can reveal, play, boom. And we have 2 of those, so it's going to work twice as good. Key Abduction. Whoa, that's what you want to see. When you have a Key Abduction with double you know, with double Mother Guns, is going to just combo so well. Return each Mars creature to its owner's hand. Then you can reveal them all, do double Mother Gun damage, and then, of course, you know, you can forge a key, but it's just so hard to forge a key. And we do have 2 key abductions, so 2 Mother Guns, 2 key abductions. If we can somehow archive a few cards maybe, and then draw a bunch of my Mars creatures, and then forge a couple keys this way, this would be really, really nice. I just don't really see it happening. I've never used key abduction to forge a key. I find it just so hard. Plus 9 current cost, that's too much. Anyway, so 2 of those, and then a deep probe, right? You just discard a bunch of creatures, which is, you know, always good. And then ammonia clouds, just a solid board clear. Just not going to be using this with my own Mars creatures because they will pretty much all die except for some of those big guys like Tunk and the double Yxilix Dominator I got. But ammonia clouds, appreciated. Nice, no chain board clear, low power board clear. The Terror. People have been saying this is an amazing turn 1 play, and it really is, but it's also good if I have, you know, my Shadows guys just stealing all their stuff, and then maybe they can't make any more Aember, so then they have none. So the Terror is pretty good in this deck, especially since you can steal a little bit. Then I believe we have, yes, it is a double Toxin. These guys are great. 3 power and Reap. Your opponent discards a random card from their hand. This is so powerful. It's crazy. And then Succubus to combo with that. And we have double Succubus as well. Where'd you go there? Where'd you go there, Cotton-Eyed Joe there? So we got double Succubus. During their draw card step, your opponent refills their hand to 1 less card. Well, guess what? Guess what? You got the double Succubus, so 2 less cards in their hand. And if you double Reaped with those Toxins, they're going to have like 2 cards left in their hand. It's going to be so sad. Aember Imp. Your opponent cannot play more than 2 cards. Well, if they only have 2, then, you know, whatever. But Aember Imp is like, it's like all those 4 cards but combined into this, kind of. Except you can kill it and then it doesn't work anymore. And then a Dust Imp, you know, solid Amber Generation card, anti-board clear, don't kill it card, you know. 3 Fates though. Destroy the 3 most powerful creatures, and this is an uncommon card. Gives you that Amber, so it doesn't give you options to, you may destroy the most powerful 3. No, it's just you destroy the most powerful 3. So this doesn't exactly work well with our Mars double Yxilla Bolters. Those guys are huge. So if those guys are out, this guy is getting discarded, probably, just to cycle. Other than that, I'm not really too sure. Annihilation Ritual. Who here thinks this card is broken, and who here thinks this card is underwhelming? When a creature would enter a discard pile and play its purge instead. Is this good? Or is this bad for us? It's an artifact, constantly happens, gives you that 1 Amber, but then for the rest of the game, everybody just starts purging their minions if they die. I am not convinced. This is a crazy card. Dominator Bauble. Happy to see a Dominator Bauble. Still don't have a deck with 2 Dominator Baubles. Waiting for that time. But I really do like Dominator Bauble. You can use a friendly creature. Guess what I want to use? Doesn't matter. Mars or Shadows both have great creatures to use for this. So happy to see that one. Fear. Return an enemy creature to his owner's hand. I'd like to see this guy with an Amber Generation on it. I'm not sure how good bouncing a creature back to its owner's hand is. I guess it's kind of nice because you can remove upgrades and that kind of thing from it. But yeah, and then last but not least is Arise. So this is the reason why I wasn't quite convinced on that card that just purges every creature as soon as it enters play. Annihilation Ritual, it's called. Not so convinced because we have the Arise and we have a decent amount of minions, and I don't really want them all to go away. I want to Arise my Double Toxin, the Terror Succubus, Ember Imp, Dust Imp. I want to revive all of those and play them all on the same turn. So there's only 1 Arise, but it's always good to see an Arise, especially with decent minions in both. We got that bait and switch. We have, the double Mother Gun, double Key Abduction. This deck is just interesting. Guncook Crown, Mussident Brigand. Very interesting. Low rare count, though. Just the Bullet Eye and the Annihilation Ritual, which might as well be not even in this deck because it doesn't do anything good for us, I don't think. Unless, maybe we play Annihilation Ritual and then 3 Fates something. And then maybe that's it. And then I don't know, get the advantage, you get 3 of their minions in the Purgatory. Purgatory? Ooh, good name. But yeah, with the Rise being in the deck and all the rest, I am a happy camper. So this has been Guncook, Crown Muscadin Brigand. This is Tiggo Beatty signing out. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Out of 10, I'd probably give this deck a solid 7 out of 10. I reviewed a deck a couple minutes ago, honestly, and I gave it a 5 out of 10, and it was probably my worst deck that I have. I was surprised, though. I thought it was going to be like a 2 out of 10. This deck, I'm pleasantly surprised. I really like the shadow cards in it. A lot of them are pretty good. And I'm glad that I have Dis as well with some good cards. Double Succubus, Double Toxin. And then Mars. I love Mars. Just my personal favorite. And it's got those 2 big creatures, Double Key Abduction, Double Mulligan. I'm loving this deck. It is not one of my most powerful decks. I think I have a few decks that I would consider about an 8 or an 8.5 power level. I think I have about 3 decks that are about that. This might be my 4th best deck. Who knows? Times will change. This could end up being my best deck of all time. We just got to keep them posted. But for now, it is on the record. I think it is a 7 out of 10. So we'll catch you guys next time. See you in the comments below. Feel free to give me that thumbs up. I appreciate it very much. And catch you guys next time. Tiggo Beatty signing out.